into their 60s, so 63, 65. And just as when humans age, we start to notice ailments, that does happen within the primates as well. So adult male gorillas often have heart issues. So a really important behavior that we work with our veterinarians on is basically a cardiac ultrasound. So we, of course, can get those images with that veterinarian viewing them and make sure everything's good. And if not, kind of come up with a protocol on what we need to do. Same thing with, we're currently training them to participate in EKG. So we're having them put their fingers onto a platform to be able to get that reading too. So that's a little bit of that browse right now. Oliver has the regrass. That is something that we rotate through the variety of browse, whether it's regrass, mulberry, banana. We want to make sure that they're getting all of that. And then out there on the habitat, you'll notice some remnants of romaine. So they get anywhere, depending upon like Bolingo, he's going to get about 50 pounds of vegetation throughout the day, and that's going to consist of the romaine, iceberg, kale. They get a variety of vegetables, so tomatoes, cucumbers, celery was today, cauliflower. They really like sweet potatoes, all those sort of things. And then when we are doing those more enhanced training medical behaviors that I mentioned to you, like the stethoscope and the cardiac ultrasound, that is when we incorporate more of what we consider like a treat. So that's going to be your apples, your oranges, your pineapples, things like that that are really going to let that animal know, and you're reinforcing them for participating in those behaviors, because having them actively involved in their healthcare and their welfare is really, really important. So it's pretty amazing that we are able to do conditioned injections, so any sort of vaccine that they might have needed, but particularly for what we call more involved kind of processes or sedations. Most of the stuff we're able to do right here in their area, but on occasion the veterinarians do routine physicals, and in that case we would need to have them sedated and travel to the animal care center, and that is where we have them present that body part. So that was a little bit of that chest beat, but again, you can see it was pretty dainty and not very loud, because if he was to get any sort of sound on that, Bolingo's going to take that more as a threat to his dominance, and you might see more of that involvement on his part. So Bolingo's chest beats are going to be really, really loud, and the little ones are going to be a little bit softer. Going back to relationship, so Bolingo is a little bit closer to his son Oliver here for whatever reason, so you'll see them interacting with a lot. He's always generally in between him and Enzi too, so Enzi has a pretty good relationship with him as well, but not as confident. So you'll see normally Enzi's lingering a little bit further back. But the other thing you'll notice is we do try to do a lot of feeding and reinforcement with all three of them together. So right here where you're at these windows, you'll notice there's training portals down below within the cement structure. So we do some amazing tours where we're able to have all three of them over here, Bolingo, Enzi, and Oliver, getting some of that reinforcement from the trainers. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about before I talk about the conservation is the enrichment that you see out there. So there are some things that are more permanent. The hammock is a little bit more permanent, along with that elbow feeder that's in the tree. And those are just things that we can fill with food, sort of items like browse that they're going to have to reach up a little bit to grab. The hammock there, I don't see them laying on that out here on the habitat too much. They normally use it more like a serving table. They'll put all their food on there and then just eat at it. But now back behind the scenes, we do have a lot of the same features, and in there they will literally lay on that hammock. Now those barrels are items that we, of course, will put food in there, and the animals have to rotate them so that food comes out of those holes. Very similar to like a Kong toy, if you have that for your animals at home. And those are the kind of things that we rotate. Now we do have larger items like that will leave out a little bit longer, but then smaller items like Kong toys or cup feeders, those are things that you're going to see out here on this habitat, and then the very next day you come